everybody, let's talk about today. Okay, I told you guys, I write a market wrap very short, give you guys at least all the levels, right? So deltas still show weakness. It's 3 days in a row that is show weakness, but the 2 days before today, of course, you saw a melt up because zero DTE pattern basically gamma squeeze. Okay, so today is the 30 days in a row showing us weakness, but look that the spread between deltas is really tight, 5 points, right? And the delta neutral is between delta neutral and weakness is only 2 points, right? So it's really tight market, really tight, really tight setup with lower liquidity because the DX dropped from 50% to 48%, and a huge gamma exposure because the GX jumped from 5 billion to almost 7 billion, right? So I understand, how you guys talk about mentor IQ, wherever, blah, blah, blah. But the most, how can I say? Let me try to rephrase that. Hedge funds, retail, in general, they are not more short. As you guys can see, the put call rate show bullishness. As I told you guys yesterday, Tesla, paying 3% premium in the money call. I just, use Tesla because it's an option in the money paying 3% premium is huge because by pattern, the in the money calls or puts tend to follow the asset and not spike above or too much below, right? That's insane. That's totally insane. I know that you have now gamma exposure up to 4,600. So I show you also today. I show yesterday. 1970s, because nobody's talking about 1970s, right? Everybody's bullish about real estate. Everybody's bullish about equity, and of course they are not wrong because market is going up, right? But if you check what's happening back in 1970s, I'm not telling you that things will be mirrored because even you have similarity. We are living in a new world, especially because in 70s, central banks, especially the Federal Reserve, wasn't able to buy through open markets. The law that allowed central bank to buy, to negotiate through the open market was who placed the order just to save the economy, to save all the other banks in the Lehman Brothers was Obama back in 2008. So the environment is totally different than the past, right? I'm seeing the fractal people still say, now I'm seeing the fractal people say, now we don't have more fractal to downtrend. Is everybody calling an infinite rally, right? Back in 70s, the inflation is much more higher than right now. The unemployment was much more lower than right now. And market, just bottom when the first bottom when the inflation peaks, right? I put over here. I put in the group. Oops. And then after the inflation peak, market skyrockets and break the previous all-time high. And we are repeating, basically we are repeating this movement, right? That's totally insane equal, right? No pullbacks. Anyway, in 70s, and as pattern regarding bullish bands, every time that you test, the top or the bottom, market spike or market going down, right? So in 70s, we break the all-time high. And 2 years after, it was 2 years because this is, no, yeah, 1 year after, we saw a big, not crash, but a big, tops and bottoms descendants. And we born in 75 when, the recession ends. Usually market, bottom 6 months after the recession ends. And the recession starts something here and ends in 75. You guys know that the recession in US usually takes like 5 years, right? So maybe, I don't know for sure, the recession is supposed to be starting in 70 and finish in 75. And mark top back in 73 and bought in 75, right? And I also show you guys what's happening with real estate. I know people is insane. I'm sorry, but people is really insane. When you see rents paying more than 0.4%, that's time to sell real estate. Real estate cannot pay more than 0.4% per month. Period. But my friend is telling me that, fuck your friend, sorry for the word, fuck your friend, or your friend doesn't have idea what he's talking about. So the same thing happens with real estate back in 70s. In 68 up to 70, the real estate skyrocketed, double the price. What's happening between 2020 and 2022? Real estate double the price either. My apartment more than double the price. And what's happened in 75? The correction came very stronger, right? From 199,000, because you need to understand the cost of the money. In 75, dropped to 182. You guys have been seeing what's happening in Canada right now, right? But Miami, yes, Miami now have demand because a lot of people is coming. Some people is paying cash, but people that is living in Miami is not paying cash. They are locking 7.7% rates. And I also explain, as happening in Canada. See, as happening in Canada. If the appraiser come to you and say, no, this house doesn't have value at 1.6, 1.3, you need to expend 300K from your pocket. Who will buy something higher than the value price? So every homeowners, you start to drop the price. And consequently, the banks will do? Drop also the appraisal. Because we still have premium. Period. My house has equity. I don't fucking care. The equity in real estate is really fast way to be burned. Guys, I already understand that. I show you guys all the time. I try to explain you guys all the time. The easy way is rents cannot pay more than 0.4%. Period. Okay? Regarding today, again, deltas is really tight. No liquidity. DIX drop. GX jump. So, we have a gamma imbalance. Alright? Right? What I explained before. Looks like that dealers are really long. And now force hedge funds to be long too and to remove their hedge. Usually major event happens when people is not prepared. Nobody's prepared right now. Right? If you guys have like Gamma Lab, let me put over here Gamma Lab. If you guys have Gamma Lab, you have a huge Gamma exposure. $1 billion. Right? So the pen trade is not more for the downside. The pen trade is for the upside. So for today, I was looking for 4,585 as a maximum upside target. And probability at 4,510, 4,515 as the maximum downside target. So I put in the summary over here. Why? Because somebody, you have like a big order in 4,550 is the main support. Is $1 million. Of course, this order is minus 62%. According to the price action, looks like that was a short call. But I cannot guarantee because, this looks like, they sold something. Or they sold puts or they sold call. I'm not able to identify that because dark pool didn't print 4,550. As you can see over here, was a big order. That was the spread. Right? That was the spread. And if you guys analyze, about volume, you guys observe, that basically nobody was attractive to buy calls. It's only 231K premium versus $2 million premium in puts. Fabio, they sold puts. Of course, they could be sold puts. But I told you guys about regarding gamma and about the delta. 4,555 is the major delta resistance. And according to the option book, 65 is a resistance. Right? And 50 weakness and consequently support. Right? So we need to monitor 4,550. What's something that I'm trying to pay attention is because long contracts. Let me see if I guess I mark one in August. If not, it was in August, it was in September. I highlight in yellow, so if it wasn't, yeah, I guess it was in September and another one in October. I already, sent to you guys the dark pool spreadsheet, but you guys can review also. So let's go back to October. But I need to find out. But one of those months, I saw big orders too. But in October, look at this one. It's $91 million premium in the money. Break even 4,610. Strike 5K. Right? And we start to see printing out of the money huge volumes as well. Usually, they are buying this because it's lack of premium in the calls because the market is going to all-time high. So puts became cheaper. Doesn't make sense to sell cheaper things, right? But those ones printed yesterday, the one 347 and another one at the morning. So especially this $191 million premium in the money because the break even 4,610 and other two bigs out of the money. So instead, when we are at 3,400, I observed they start to buy a lot of calls out of the money. And markets went up. Now I have been observed they are buying puts out of the money. Means that tend market to revert. Okay? That's something that we need to pay attention. But take your time and look at the dark pool spreadsheet because I highlight a bunch of orders in yellow. I don't remember each month, and we can track the movement, and especially the open interest. If the open interest starts to going higher and the price starts to going higher, it's because somebody really bought. Of course, the opposite, make us try to interpret that somebody's already sold. Okay? So you guys can help me on that. Just look for the yellows that are highlighted. Try to look for August and September. I'm pretty sure that, I highlight something August and September. In December as well. In December 15, I don't think I highlighted because it was 6 million. But they start to print over here, those ones are totally out of the money. Totally out of the money. They print yesterday. So 10 million, $13 million. Right? Anyway, so it's another one in December. So they are buying long contracts, out of the money, put contracts. Look like that the dealers are hedged. No, not retail, not hedge funds. Okay? And I also post to you guys today Something very interesting. And also is regarding 1970, regarding 70s. We're trying to break the top. And now we are back in test, the monthly graph top line of the Bullion Band. Usually when you back test, you see you start a downtrend. So Nasdaq is already coming to backtest, right? It's already trying to backtest the all-time high and mainly the Bullion Band. That's the pattern of the graph that you guys need to look for. And also SP 500, the same. It's trying to backtest the top line of the Bullion Band. And usually, we see a downtrend after hours. The pivot is 4,666, okay, in the weekly graph. That's the this red line. Guys, regarding today, I already give you the levels. I'm just showing you guys a pattern. I'm also showing you guys, the dark pool spreadsheet. I hope you guys can help me out to identify if those big orders was buyer or sellers by dealers, and then we try to anticipate the movement. Guys, take care, enjoy your day, be careful down there, because we are in a very critical region, right? Take care.